Good morning. It is July 2nd, 2026, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and this is your pre-market analysis. All right, so today I'm going to go over ES. This is something new. I'm going to add to our every morning routine here. So Nasdaq, Bitcoin, and SpaceX. I think today will probably be the last day I'm going to cover this. This I just started covering basically because, well, it was new. Everybody was all excited about it. And just wanted to kind of cover that for a little bit. All right, so jumping in, starting with NASDAQ. So NASDAQ has, all right, so what, 2 days ago, price pushes through here. I mentioned we need a solid close above this brown shaded box. This is a key level of support and resistance. Price closes above, the next candle needed to stay above. It needed to test this, find this as resistance. So in other words, we wanted to either see this continue to go or test this and then use it as support to kick off of. So that did not happen. Instead, price broke down and then it closed below the support and resistance area here. And this candle right here now, today's candle, has opened below the support and resistance area, this key level. So now it is acting as resistance. So this continues to be a resistance level, and it currently looks like price would continue to the downside. So the targets that I have for the downside are the 29,524. And if it would push right through there, and looking at the prior week low here around 29,160, so probably around this area right here, about 29,000. So that is NASDAQ. And we do have 4th of July coming up, so that's an American holiday, obviously. And so the markets could start to lose a little bit of volume, as we get closer to Friday. So that's something to keep in mind. We do have non-farm payroll today, so that is important. You will want to pay attention to that report. That comes out at, well, let's see here. So that comes out at 8:30, and where are you at? Here we are. So expect volatility at 8:30 this morning. All right, jumping into ES. All right, the SPY. So here we go. This one's new, so we haven't been covering this. I will routinely start covering this, and this is what I am looking at. So the first thing that pops out to me is right here we have this gap. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in that gap. I'm going to draw this line out here. So the shaded brown box is indicating our support and resistance area. So as you can see here, we gapped up, price goes to the upside, comes back down, tries to find that as support, is unable to hold it as support, falls through, and then it comes back through. So this area right here, this gap, has basically been filled in. It's been filled in several times. So price has crisscrossed up and down over this area. That is a good, I would say, good to go, right? So that's filled. So what happens next? So currently what it looks like is price is testing this as support and is going to try and kick off to the upside. So the interesting thing here is when you look at our levels, you'll see this red shaded box right here. This is the EQ. So this is an area where price goes to kind of rebalance and decide whether it's going to move to the upside or the downside. And this is an area where you could expect just some chop. So price could remain choppy for a while. I do believe, though, that the non-farm payroll report coming in today at 8:30 could push this in one direction or the other. So this is going to be a key level to keep an eye on. Definitely watch out for fake outs this morning where price could move maybe more to the upside on ES and then decide to go down. So it could do something like this where it's going to come up into this area and then do one of these kinds of things and then drop. So watch out for that fake out. This little nipple, I like to call it, is basically your signature that you're going to be looking for when you see something like that and then it starts to move to the downside. That's a good clue that price is going to go in the opposite direction. All right, jumping into Bitcoin quick. So Bitcoin continues to range. It's making some new, it went a little bit higher here, so it's taking liquidity. It's taking liquidity on the bottom here. So this was yesterday's candle. Basically grabbed liquidity from both sides. And now we have this candle that's moving to the upside. So what I'm really looking at here is this also a fake out? Is this one that's moving to the upside now? So we've done this. We've taken liquidity from both sides. Comes back down. Now it's trying to head up. So let's say it goes up into this area. Let's say it gets to about it's about 61,800 and then makes a big move down. I could see it coming into this EQ area here, maybe retesting and then coming back down lower. And this 51,000 is an area that I definitely have my eye on. So this would be an area of interest for that I think price could find support before moving to the upside. So this could be what everybody's watching for, and that's when people want to start buying, and price may just decide to start taking off right here. So the complete opposite could happen. So what you could watch for here in that scenario would be where price could either just come back, retest maybe this shaded or this fluorescent green line and then go. If it breaks, so the key here is going to be if it breaks this orange line right here. So I'll drop a pin on that. If it breaks that, why is that not taking? That's the second time that happened to me. All right, so if it breaks this right here at 67,300 and holds that as support, then I believe we're going to have more upside and we'll reevaluate and look for targets. But as of now, this is the range that I am looking at that Bitcoin could just play around with. And this ranging was just all consolidation. So it's just building up orders, and there's a lot of liquidity right here. And so all this right here, that's all liquidity. All this down here, that's all liquidity. And it can use that liquidity as fuel for it to move from one way, one direction to the other. So that's basically what's happening. And all you got to do is basically look for that breakout. So just watch out for the fake out and then watch for the breakout. So it's kind of looking like possibly, another scenario here would be that this candle, get all the clutter out of the way. This candle right here could, because you see this wick right here and how this candle's coming up, it could just continue to the upside. If it does continue to the upside and retest this area and finds this as support, I can see that going, heading back up to this area. So that's another scenario to watch for. All right, so that's Bitcoin. And SPX, so SpaceX, this level right here, this shaded box, I had pointed out 2 days ago now, and price did blow right through that, and it was unable to hold it as support. So as you can see here, we had this big candle that just came straight down through it, and now if you pull this out, you're going to see that this middle mean line right here, well, that's just so perfect, right? The wick of that candle just touches it to the penny and rejects. So this bar right here would indicate that price is likely to either start chopping this area or continue moving down. And the downside targets that I have are, this level right here. So we'll drop a pin on that. And so I would be paying attention to this right here, about $143 to possibly this range right here. So I'd be looking at about 143 to $121. I think price could dip down into this area, do some ranging and look and try and look for some type of support before it starts moving back up to the upside. So that is it for SpaceX, and we will be covering in the future just Bitcoin, ES, and Nasdaq. All right, so remember today's non-farm payroll. So 8:30. Make sure your trades are managed properly because it could get extremely volatile. All right, that is a wrap. If you are trading today, good luck.